Excellent. So far, so good. Welcome back to the Working Class Musician YouTube channel. I am Jimmy Franklin. Be sure to hit like and subscribe below so you never miss a video. In the midst of all my other projects, right now I am working on building a small board for my summer schedule of gigs that's coming up. But the main focus of the whole thing and the power unit of it is going to be a Line 6 Helix, a Line 6 HX Stomp, not the Helix. The Helix is the big one, HX Stomp is the tiny one. Everyone knows I love my Helix products, and I'm in the process of making just a tiny board for travel. And in that process, I accidentally made a Polyphia tone. Also, I really hope that this comes across clearly because I'm using the amp in the room and just my shotgun mic because I really want you to get the idea of the fact that this isn't an edited tone to sound this way. Like in post in a DAW, this is the way the tone sounds in the room, which for some of these modern guitar tones, it's so hard. It's very easy to get them in a plugin, but trying to recreate them live can be a challenge at times. So, as seen here, this is my first thing that I've made in my HX Stomp. I really wanted this setup to be something that was simple, that could get me through almost any scenario gig-wise. I have a Dynacomp for my cleans. Then I have my nice little modulation effect. Then I got both my amp blocks here because I am running this into an orange pedal baby and then into a cab. In this case, I have my 212 orange cab that has vintage 30s in it. Love this cab, it's awesome. So what's going on here is the clean amp is my Placator, which is the Friedman model, which just is awesome. Then this is where it gets really fun. I put the PV Panama here so that I could get these kind of tones. And I really wanted something that could do that, nice and big sounding. Then quite simply, it's just a delay, a reverb, and an EQ for boosts. That's all it is after that. And I have it set up to snapshots. And something that I did by accident in this case, ready? I was under the impression that when I was playing and messing around with Polyphia songs, that the clean sound would get me where I wanted to be in a Polyphia tune. But so anyway, what happened was a student of mine really wanted to learn Yes. And that's one of the most fun songs. It's probably my favorite song by Polyphia in general. In that process, I had accidentally left my distortion on when I was showing him the riff, and this kind of happened. And I was having some fun with that. I'm like, that sounds really cool. But it started to sound more realistic. And this is where the key element is here. We all know that the Polyphia sound and the modern guitar sound kind of lies in the fourth position as it is. And especially if you're playing an Ibanez AZ. I am kind of at an advantage in this case because I've tried this with other guitars and it doesn't always sound the same. Interestingly enough, I think the AZ, let's switch to the guitar cam here. I think the AZ in its volume pot may have like some sort of treble bleed or something like that. If I'm using the wrong terminology, please let me know. Also remember, all of the gear that you see in my videos is gonna be available in links below from our friends at Sweetwater. And so what happens is, as you roll the volume down on a distorted amp setting, the treble bleed kicks in, it seems, and keeps the tone thick and not too shrill, because sometimes when you roll off your volume, it starts to thin out a little bit. And I think that might be what's in here. I don't know. So like I said, anyone can correct me on this. So as you roll down your volume, it gets muddy. And it stays thick sounding. Like the volume drop really isn't even that intense. But now, watch this. There's a certain point where the treble bleed cuts out. At least on mine there is. But there's a certain point where the treble bleed is no longer activated. And then all I had to do from there is just go to the Polyphia setting, which we all know is setting number 4 on your Ibanez AZ. And just like that, I had just like that, I had the the iconic Polyphia yes tone. And it's absolutely dead on. It's not even... Oh, it's even there. This absolutely blew my mind, and it's something that I feel like can only be done on the AZ. We all know that the fourth position is Polyphia and modern guitar tone gold, but it's so funny what happens when you roll this volume knob down, and that whatever that capacitor or whatever it is that's in there, whenever it disengages and you're in that sweet spot where the distortion is still crackling the tone a little bit. I'm gonna do another video where I try and recreate this tone at full volume, which I'm sure can't be that hard, right? It does help that I'm using an Ibanez AZ and I'm running it through an orange power amp and I'm running it into an orange cab just like they use. I don't think all that will truly make or break your tone, but these are just some ideas to give a shot. My favorite little thing is like this little sound, it's got that little bit of honk to it. Ugh. And on my quest to get the Polyphia sound, let me tell you, I'm not fully there yet, because this is definitely not the goat tone, because if you start that, it's really not, it's not there. It's just a little too thin. And some of my taps are still a little dead, so I'm wondering I might be able to throw a compressor or something on it to even that all out a little bit. Thank you guys so much. My name is Jimmy Franklin. Go give this a shot and let me know how it goes.